Hello and welcome to part 16 of this web design tutorial for teens. In this part, we're going to be talking more about JavaScript. So, as you can see here, for the variable age, and age1, and pi, we said we typed what type of object it was, or what type of number it was. We called it a variable, and then we gave it a name, and then we gave it a number. So, when we type it equals 13, that means we initialized the variable. If we can also just type var age and then leave it like that. But if we do that, that means that the age will be called uninitialized, which means that it will have no value. So if we type console.log and then age, and then save, and then open this up open the HTML inside of our file explorer, and then open it up inside of our web browser, we can go into our inspector and then click console and then see that it says undefined. This means that it has no value. We haven't defined the value. However, if we go back inside of our code, we can type age equals 13. This will initialize the value. That means the age is initialized now. Now, below it, we can type console.log and then age. And if we save and then refresh our page, you can see that first it says undefined because the first time we locked it, it didn't have a value, and then it says 13. So this is when the value is uninitialized, and then this is when it is initialized. Now, like we talked about before, when you initialize, or we didn't talk about this before, but when you type a variable and then give it a name, when we try to give it another value, we have to type it in the exact case and spelling that we typed it in before. So we can't type age. If we do that and then save, then refresh our page, it will be undefined again because it did not find age. Now if we replace it and type it like that. Now another thing that you need to learn when you type when you're writing in JavaScript or giving names to variables and objects, it's important to use camel case. So let's say that we type where our name is, this name isn't just one word, but it's two words. Now you can't put a space between a name. You can't put a space between a name because if you do, you'll get an error. So to do that, you just type it all in one word. Now to make it more easily to read, we use this thing called camel case. Camel case means that for the first word, you don't give it for the first word that you type, you don't give it any capitalization, but for the next word, you make it capital. So now if we type that, now it's easier to be seen. We'll just change it back now. So another thing that we can also do is we can add values. So let's give another another number called, we'll say let's how about let sum equal 10 plus 20, and then type console.log sum. We can save and then refresh the page, and then we get 30 because 10 plus 20 is 30. We can also add strings to each other. So let's say let sum equal the number is and then plus 20. Now if we save and then refresh our page, you can see that it says the number is 20. We can also add consts or objects that are strings to each other. So let's say the first word is the number, camel case, the number, and then we'll type the number is, and then we'll type another one, and then we'll call it 20, and then type 20 with a space. Now, if we type, all we have to do now is type the number plus 20 and delete that quote. And now if we go back into our page and refresh, we can see that the same sentence has come up. Also, to remember, if I didn't cover this before, is that you have to always put a semicolon at the end of every line that you type. So let's say that const person is, and the brackets are, in the end of the bracket should also have a semicolon because it's an object, but where it ends should have a semicolon. So basically anything that you type at the end of it, you have to add a semicolon. Thank you for watching. This has been part 16 of this web design tutorial for teens. Please stay tuned.